What's up, guys? Welcome to the Ringside Power Hour podcast. We're coming at you from Sabretooth Audio down here in Glen Burnie, Maryland. And if you haven't noticed, we're lacking a little bit of a holy presence. The godly one himself, the biblical man who can't get a suntan, Everett Hall McNeil, is not here with us tonight.
He's on mission in South America trying to get more convertees for the Ringside Power Hour.
So it might be a little sinful tonight, but let's get these introductions started. I am your host with the most, the reason why your girlfriend goes out at night and buys all the carrots and cucumbers in bulk from the Safeway and then comes home and locks herself in the bathroom. That's right, your resident rock star, Hollywood, Michael Paul.
And I'm the man with the plan, Dale, the hostess with the mostest, who's always on happy hour win.
And last but certainly not least, I am the badass flapjack of podcasting, Jeff Henson.
And Black Jesus still not here.
Black Jesus still is not here, guys, and we're going to say a little prayer for him. Certainly not.
And amen.
Hallelujah.
You guys can follow us on Facebook.
And you can also get us on YouTube, both at the Ringside Power Hour podcast.
All right, so let's get into a few topics that we have here tonight. The Divas division.
The Divas division.
As promised.
Now, what do you guys compare the Divas now to the Divas then?
Are we comparing the Divas now to Fabulous Moolah, or are we comparing Divas now to Attitude Era like Trish Stratus?
Hey, Fabulous Moolah is a then.
It is, but...
Well, she doesn't count. She's like 28-year reigning world champion. No girl can outshoot her.
When you talk about now in the Attitude Era, the wrestling now is a lot better than it was in the Attitude Era.
Oh, I disagree, but, well, maybe they were just a lot hotter back then.
The storytelling in the Attitude Era was probably bar none the best.
It was.
Oh, way better.
But you got a lot of girls now that wrestle a lot better than then. I mean, you got Bayley, Sasha...
Bayley, are you serious? Don't bring up Bayley. She's in NXT. I don't want to hear nothing about Bayley.
She's still a diva today, though.
She's not a diva. When she makes the main roster, we could talk about her being a diva. I'm sorry. Being in the minor leagues doesn't count as being a professional.
Okay, Paige.
Oh, so that we want to go right into our underutilized talent already?
No, I'm talking about the Divas division in general.
I mean, Bayley was part of the Four Horsewomen, and all four of them, in my opinion, are probably the best divas in... You know, set aside Paige, because Paige is pretty damn good. Probably the best divas in the company.
Well, we're talking about now and then. Let's talk about, like, say you put Paige up against Lita.
You put Paige against
That's
Lita.
That's a terrible match.
I mean, it depends on what timeline.
That's a terrible match because the styles of matchup is terrible. Because Lita is more of a luchador.
Right.
And...
Paige is in your face.
Yeah, she's
in your face ground.
She's
face wrestler.
You're right. She's more of a shoot wrestler than she is an actual entertainer.
That's true.
So what do you guys like about the diva division right now?
The ass.
Oh yeah, I always like that.
Well, obviously.
And
that's
NXT,
always sweet.
You got the camera angles.
Actually, going back to what we compared to then and now, then they wore pants and a much more different rated, wrestling than now. And now they strictly wear show me your ass panties.
Yeah, but we had this thing called bra and panty matches and nightgown matches.
You had the paddle on the pole match.
Miss Kitty actually got butt ass naked on live TV, which is priceless.
That's true.
That made her whole gimmick, her whole run.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
Besides, she was fucking Jerry Lawler. But other than that...
That's another thing I missed about the Divas division. Fuck. Attitude Era Jerry Lawler.
Oh, the puppies?
Yeah.
Oh, my... Well,
you enjoyed the puppies?
Man, I was watching a scene or a match the other day. It was Lita. It wasn't Lita. It was Trish, and I forgot who the fuck she was fighting. But they come back from commercial break, and JR's like, King, where were you at? And he was like, I was taking a phone call.
That's right. He has some business to work out.
Yeah, I mean, look, the King was borderline the biggest pervert in all of, like, you know what I mean? Any announcer you can think of, he was the pervert.
So, by the way, since we're on that subject, Mike, how's it been going, man?
What do you mean by how it's been going?
Well, I mean, we're going to get into divas and chicks. I mean...
Well, my POF account has sadly not gotten any views, and neither has my OkCupid, but I have gotten a phone call tonight, and I might be getting, 240 pounds of wet pussy, so...
I doubt it.
Wet?
Wet.
So is that rolled around, finding
He said sweat.
Oh, okay.
Sweat.
Oh, okay.
Hey, look, even rock stars fall on hard times, man. Hard times. I got to get into something. I'm fucking pig right now.
Oink, oink. Oh, damn.
Boink the shit out
He
of that
took
thing.
it there, baby.
Please,
All right.
Reverend, forgive me.
So, I mean, when it comes to the Divas division, but who do you think is the most underutilized talent today?
Paige.
Natalie. Natalia.
I'd have to say Natalya.
She is the greatest women's wrestler.
The legacy speaks
right
for
now.
itself.
That's true. That's true. But Paige has a legacy too.
Paige, at least she won the Divas title and was in the main picture. Natalya was pretty much shut out of any major Diva storyline for the past 3 years.
I mean, it sucks because she's in an era, like, she's coming from the last era with Kelly and all them where they all sucked. And she's rolling into the Divas Revolution, but the thing is, she's caught in limbo. She trains all these girls.
to make them better than what they are.
She's part of the Hart legacy, but she gets zero love. Like, this week on SmackDown was, like, her best match in years. Counting years.
But it's true. She is very underutilized.
You
I
having
know.
trouble there?
Third
You
gate.
stuttering? That fat girl getting to you?
Third
starting to
grade
think about-
English.
Look, it's been 2 years, so ladies, if you're out there listening, I do this every week. They call me the rock star for a reason, because I'm going to rock your world like that cucumber did last night. So just go ahead, look me up, OK Cupid, Poff, whatever. Watch our YouTube channel, listen to my mesmerizing voice.
Or just like us on Facebook, please.
You can like my page on Facebook.
Anyway, because this really went south.
I'm going to go south
That's what
tonight.
happens when the Reverend's gone for the week.
Yep. Well,
Hey,
when the
man.
Reverend's gone, it becomes about ass and titties and getting laid, and the Divas pretty much opened all that book. But you know,
Yeah.
speaking of underutilized talent, why don't we go ahead and jump into this next segment? Underutilized talent. I mean, who can you think of off the top of the head that had a push and it got dropped?
Wade Barrett, Cesaro.
Well, let's talk about Wade Barrett, since reports come out this week that he's leaving the WWE after his contract's over in June because he feels underutilized and doesn't like the way his direction is going.
I don't blame him.
I
Go
don't
to
either.
Japan, dude.
Go to Ring of Honor.
They'll love you in Japan.
Please don't
Even
go to Ring of Honor. Go to Japan. His shoot style will make him a legend over there. They will love that guy.
It's true, but I mean, like, they haven't done nothing with him. I mean, they put him with this League of Nations, and he didn't even have a match with him.
He hasn't been relevant since Nexus. The last time he was relevant was literally Nexus, where he came from NXT and ruled shit. Him and his little cronies. This guy was a bare knuckle brawler. This guy could fight legitly, and
Yeah, but you know there is no legitimacy anymore.
yeah, but he has mic skills too. Which, how many wrestlers can we say now has mic skills?
It's not too many. It's a
Select handful.
It's a wrestling based world now.
What wrestling based? You guys telling me that's wrestling based? I hate to tell you guys, but I wrestled, and that's not wrestling based.
Well, you're comparing real wrestling to entertainment wrestling.
Even entertainment wrestling. I mean, you want some realism, right? I mean, there's a reason why Brock Lesnar won the UFC Heavyweight Championship, because as much as you want to fake it, he still could do it.
Yeah, but he couldn't do it against any of the guys that are fighting now. He may have did it against the old guy,
Okay.
and the guy that got into the car accident.
I will give you this, but tell me one guy on the roster right now did you feel like he could whip your ass? Besides
You mean
Wade Barrett
You mean
or Alberto Del Rio
in the WWE?
in the WWE.
Heath Slater.
Yeah, Heath Slater, Golden Gloves.
I'm
Gloves,
sorry.
baby.
I'll take his ass down and put him in. I'll
He
put
is
him in
a
a
joke.
world of hurt.
A big joke.
He is a joke, but if you want to take it there, then Chad Gable, Olympian wrestler.
Oh, I know. But where's he at now? Still
He's in-
buried in NXT, right?
Not buried. He's on the uprise, and honestly, they need to bring him to the main roster like right now.
They need to bring that team to the main roster right now. It's a great team.
Yeah, it really is.
Like, I'm tired of hearing, all I hear is how wrestlers are bigger, stronger, faster, so more of this, so more of that, when really, I wouldn't be scared of none of them. At least back in the day, I would at least, like, question how I would do against, like, some of these guys. But now, are you kidding me? Dolph Ziggler? Dude, I would put that boy in a world of hurt.
Well, I don't think Dolph Ziggler's all that great anyway.
I think he's being underutilized.
Well, he's so
he's
great.
underutilized. I agree.
He's so great that the next Dolph Ziggler is Tyler Breeze.
Yeah, that's a fucking joke. Anybody out there that thinks Tyler Breeze deserves to be the next Dolph Ziggler when Dolph Ziggler hasn't even been Dolph Ziggler, you guys are fucking stupid.
well, they're trying to make Dolph Ziggler Shawn Michaels. I mean,
So let's do that. Let's, like, get him some skills. How about a quarter of Shawn Michaels' mic skills?
I don't think his mic skills are that bad.
Oh,
I don't think he can talk that great. He can perform.
Wait a minute.
He oversells, by the way. But
Jeff, how do you feel about his mic skills for real?
I think his mic skills personally fucking suck. I think the guy in that era that he actually won the title from Dolph Ziggler had the better mic skills, and that was Zack Ryder. And Zack Ryder gets no fucking love. So how do you figure, Dolph Ziggler should be everybody? I read an article the other day saying that Dolph Ziggler should have been a world champion. He should have been in main events on pay-per-views. How can you do that when you can't even promote yourself? You're coming out, you don't know who the fuck you are. First, you're being compared to Shawn Michaels, and now you're wearing Motley Crue's logo. So who the fuck are you? Are you a wrestler, or are you in a rock band that you want to come back? Let's be honest.
He's struggling to find out who he is on the roster. I mean,
I want to hear about these promo skills you supposedly think he has, because I personally feel like he has zero.
he had good promo skills. I mean, like after he lost a couple matches and he was being himself and all angry and shit during the promos.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Dolph Ziggler. I think he's a really good talent. Put him with The Miz. Make a tag team out of it. The Miz can talk. Dolph Ziggler can sell. Do it. If you want to use somebody right, then you need to do it right. Because as a singles competitor, he had one shot, and that was at Survivor Series when Sting helped him defeat, what was it, Team Authority or something like that?
Yeah. Yep.
They did absolutely nothing with it, and he had no wins going up to that match. So how the fuck did it even matter?
Now, bringing back up to underutilized talent, like you brought up, The Miz. The Miz has grade A mic skills. This guy sells every time he's in a ring. When he's in a match, when he gets on a microphone, he spills charisma. But where's his love?
He gets no love. You know why he gets no love? For the simple fact is people like to hate on him because he was a reality star. I get it. At first, I didn't like him. But when I heard him talk, when he was in a tag team with John Morrison, or what was he, Johnny Nitro?
No, it was John Morrison at the time.
John Morrison at the time. I actually thought they were really good together. I think The Miz in any tag team is really good together. I don't think he should be a main event. He shouldn't have been champion. The Miz should have never been in the match for the championship match when The Rock was coming back and hosting against John Cena and all that shit. But I think the dude is really good tier mid-card talent.
Look,
he can talk his ass off.
He's so good. Look, he took a guy like Alex Riley, Damian Sandow. He made these guys actual fan favorites. How? He was so hated. His mic skills are so good. He made them guys loved. And then what happened as soon as they left The Miz?
Absolutely nothing.
Their career's over.
I mean, they were going to do something with Damian Sandow, it looked like. They dropped the ball on it.
Well, I don't consider him underutilized. So if you want to shoot on it, you can. But I don't think the dude is even talented, to be honest with you. He can talk a little bit. He had a little stick going.
A little bit? He could talk a little bit.
He was great at talking with that intellectual gimmick. It was amazing.
That shit was good.
Oh, I thought we were talking about The Miz.
No, I'm talking about Damian Sandow.
About Damian Sandow.
Well,
I'm a huge Damian Sandow fan.
Look, I have nostalgia going on with me. I loved the Genius when he was out. I thought it was a hilarious gimmick. Then when they came out with the Damian Sandow gimmick where he was just like the Genius, it was just nostalgia. I mean, he's nowhere near. He's not even as good on the mic skills as the Genius, let alone the wrestling ability. But it was funny to me.
Oh, I mean, they really dropped the ball with a lot of different shit. Zack Ryder being one, Chris Masters being another, Carlito. I mean, you had so many MVP, so many talents that you could have did something with.
You brought up The Miz. John Morrison was another underutilized guy.
John Morrison was utilized as much as he could be utilized. He had a girl problem. That's his fault. That's not underutilized because of WWE. That's underutilized because you're an idiot.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sorry. If you let your girl do all your talking and she's fucking everybody in the back, that's your fault, bud.
I agree. I mean, I thought he was a great talent, as in wrestling. If you watch him wrestle, he was fine. Put him in some ladder matches. He's pretty much Kofi Kingston. But you put the dude on the mic, and he just wasn't that good. That's why it worked with The Miz.
You didn't think his mic skills were that good?
I didn't think his mic skills were that good at all.
I thought when he was John Morrison gimmick, when he was parodying Jim Morrison, I thought he was great.
Dude,
with
he
his
had
promos.
no mic skills, man. His mic was Marlena, and unfortunately, she had everybody's dick in her mouth. So,
see, here's my problem with mic skills. I'm all about delivery. If you can't, it's one thing to sing a lyric, but does the lyric sound good when you sing it? You know what I mean? That's how I look at promo skills. If you can't deliver what you're saying, you got to, you know what I mean? It just has to be like, The Rock could make you fucking hyped. Stone Cold could make you hyped. If you watch Ric Flair, you thought he was about to have a heart attack. These guys do not do that for me. None of them. The Miz, is probably one of the best. John Cena is another one. I mean, I'm a huge Cesaro fan, and I don't think he can cut a promo either. So if you really sit there and think about who's good and who's not, you got to think about the guys that actually bring the oomph to their promos.
Well, with these guys that can't cut a promo, but you can just bring managers back. I mean, they did it with Flair. They did it with Heyman. I mean, bring back Bischoff. Put him with somebody.
I agree. You can bring back matters to a point, but just right. It's all about delivery. Like, when The Rock talks, like, The Rock can say anything, and you feel it because, oh, my God, he makes you feel it.
It's the electricity.
He makes you, he's so pumped into it. He's so into it. He makes you believe it. Where's the believability at?
There's no believability at all.
No, I got you.
None. I mean, you got a few guys in NXT that impress me, but what happens when they come to the main roster? Are they still getting over? For instance, Big Cass and Enzo. I like them. I think they can talk good. I think they're a good tag team. They got a good look. But we've seen the same song and dance over and over. What's going to happen?
They're going to water them down so they get to the main roster.
They're going to water them down, A, and
They're
then
gonna break
B,
them
the
up.
big guy's going to get pushed and the little guy's going to get left. And that's the guy that can talk.
Enzo's going to struggle in the mid card. It's no doubt about it.
And we had this discussion last night over Enzo and Cass's big debut. Like I said last night, they didn't win an NXT championship. What are they going to do on the main roster?
They're going to beat New Day.
Really, Mike?
I mean, I agree. I think that the fact that they haven't won an NXT championship, they're probably the most popular team. I mean, I'm not going to say they are, but they're probably the most popular tag team on NXT. How come they haven't won a tag team championship yet?
I agree with you. They should have won. They've had so many opportunities, and they just dropped the ball with it. You're giving it to guys like, was it Dash and Dawson now?
I mean, I like Dash and Dawson. I think they have that old school vibe look to them. I really like them.
I love Dash and Dawson.
Right,
they
but
remind me of the Anderson brothers.
Right, but these are guys that came in after Enzo and Big Cass.
But let's face it, Dash and Dawson's not hyping you up for a tag team match. Enzo and Big Cass are hyping you up for a tag team match.
Mojo and Zack Ryder are hyping you up for a match. Can you feel the hype? Because I don't get hyped. I stay hyped.
I mean, I like the fact that Zack Ryder's being used, but I hate the fact that he's being used like that.
Zack Ryder is a self-made guy who apparently the WWE absolutely hates self-made guys.
Let's bring him back up to the main roster and job.
Let's think about this. What is the WWE's biggest problem with Titus O'Neil?
No, don't get me started on that guy. The fact that he can't wrestle.
Well,
is that the first
let
part?
me tell you what they don't like about him. Everything he's done on himself. I know you don't like him, but think about this. The WWE didn't make him do any of this stuff. He did all this on himself. He made himself popular with people because of himself. The WWE hates self-promoters. Look, it's a fact. Look at Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder, the WWE wouldn't be in YouTube if it wasn't for Zack Ryder.
He definitely
It's true.
introduced them to social media.
And what did he get for it?
Nothing.
He got a U.S. championship and put back down to the gutter.
He got, I hate you. Thank you for letting me use the shit out of you, but get the hell out of here.
And did WWE shut down his YouTube channel?
I believe so. Yeah,
Yes.
WWE took it and said it can only be used on their WWE network or whatever, and he said fuck that. And he pretty much just said no, I'm not going to do it no more.
And that brings up a big sore spot for me this week. Because this week I was reading about Axel Rotten, which in our first episode, we showed the guy love and stuff. But really not just Axel Rotten, but the whole ECW, all them guys. These guys are on WWE Network constantly. Like, they're getting new fans every day. And these guys are getting zero royalties. These guys are getting screwed. I mean, I love that how Vince has made the platform for wrestling so huge, but he should be forced to have to pay some of these guys for this stuff. Because these guys, I read an interview with Shane Douglas this week. I don't know if you guys remember who Shane Douglas is. He was a minor guy in WCW, but he was huge in ECW. I really like Shane Douglas. I thought he was really talented. I loved his...
Wasn't he the franchise?
The franchise, yes. I loved his I'm the franchise character. And in ECW, it worked. But here he is now. He's all over WWE Network, and he gets nothing. I mean, that's like telling Leave It to Beaver that you ain't getting no more money.
I mean, I can't explain how that isn't in some kind of copyright contract. I'm guessing they sign a contract and anything that is WWE belongs to WWE now. But you would think they would at least get some kind of royalty for it.
See, I believe that too, right? But at the time, there was nothing for social media. there was nothing. This didn't exist. This technology didn't exist. So how's Vince getting away with grandfathering himself into everything?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it falls on the fact these guys, when they were ECW, didn't copyright any of their stuff. So when they bought the rights to the ECW library, they bought all the names that these guys didn't own. Like the Dudley Boys couldn't use their name anymore. The Sandman can use his because he copyrighted his name.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them, I don't know. I mean, I guess, I know ECW had a lot of bad business.
But there's no way that Vince knew to do this with the platform that he has now. So there's no way you could tell me he thought this far ahead and signed ironclad contracts.
Well, I think what it was content. Any content that they had was used for WWE. I think they had to sign maybe the fact that if they join, and this is probably because of the Monday Night Wars, if you're on WWE, your content belongs to Vince McMahon, and anytime you leave, you could not use your name. I think that all registered for that reason because of the fact of, who was it, Lex Luger? Left Monday night, went to WCW,
Right.
and then Scott Hall very next night or very next week or something like that.
It was Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. Luger.
I know that, but didn't Luger do it too?
Luger came in after them.
Yeah, Luger came
after?
in. Well, see, Luger didn't use Luger in. Actually, if you ever look at it, Luger didn't use Luger in WWE.
Oh, he didn't.
No, he used the Narcissus and other things.
Yeah, well, he was
never really
untalented
used Luger.
too. So.
Oh, if we ever want to get into a discussion about overrated talent, let me tell you, Lex Luger is well up on the top of my list of guys that I couldn't stand to watch.
Well, we're talking about underutilized talent. We talked about Cody Rhodes last week. Right now, he starred us with, can bring us into this with wasted gimmicks.
I mean, how about the fact? Oh, we just jump into the
let's
weekly
jump into
review.
that match then.
Let's jump into that
match.
Oh yeah, that.
They open up Raw with another fucking authority segment, and
Circa 1997.
it fucking sucks over and over every week. I don't really care about Stephanie being on TV
Hold
no
on.
more.
I got a real question for you guys. A legit question. Has Stephanie gotten uglier over the years or what, man? That girl is almost damn near unbearable to look at, let alone listen to.
I think she's decent looking. I think she's gotten bigger, but
I mean, I don't know. I've never been really. I never thought Stephanie was hot. Maybe it's because of Trish Stratus and all.
But she has gotten uglier. Come on, man. And she's still annoying as hell. Like, she's not even annoying to listen to. I'm like ambiguous with her. Listen, I just don't want, like, I could go the rest of my life never having to hear that voice again.
Oh, she makes it unbearing to watch her on TV sometimes.
Like, Vicky Guerrero, Vicky Guerrero can make you hate her, but it wasn't like, please don't ever talk for the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's
That's
true.
true.
But when you're a heel, that's actually good.
No, I understand when you're a heel, that's great, but I think it's worse. She makes me indifferent towards it.
The only reason I really feel indifferent towards it is just because she opens every week. I mean, it's the same shit every fucking week. Here comes a wrestler and here comes the authority. Or here comes the authority, then here comes the babyface. I get it. You have to sell that main story. You have 3 fucking hours to sell it. Why can't we open with somebody else? Somebody else that wants to take the spot. Why don't we test the waters? Throw Dolph Ziggler out there and let's see if he can talk. How about that?
put Kevin Owens out there.
Throw Kevin Owens out there. He is your Intercontinental Champion. Does that not fucking mean anything?
Which, by the way, it was his first match he won in like 4 fucking
Oh,
months.
and by the way, back to the Cody Rhodes thing. You know, they actually threw Cody Rhodes into, what was it, a fatal 5-way Intercontinental
A fatal
Championship?
5-way, and you said you were,
Was a bit
with
shocking. I liked the match.
all the guys with Tyler Breeze.
All of them but Tyler,
With Tyler
Breeze.
Breeze.
So Neville couldn't get in that match.
Neville couldn't get that match.
Neville. Superstar of the year, which I honestly don't think he was Superstar of the
Should have
year.
been Kevin Owens.
I like Neville, but it probably should have been Kevin Owens. But out of everybody, you put Tyler Breeze over Neville.
You
Even
could've put
over
Zack Ryder in it.
Kalisto, and they love Kalisto.
I mean, even Kalisto has, prestige to his name. Tyler Breeze is a guy that came up, won one match against Dolph Ziggler, who now is in a main feud. The booking is fucking horrible, is what I'm trying to say here. But all in all, I actually liked the Fatal 5-Way match. I liked how it portrayed. I liked the fact that Dean Ambrose didn't get pinned. I liked the fact that Kevin Owens did win the belt, even though there was no build-up. I would have liked to see a build-up of him winning, but fuck it.
Well,
this is what we got.
you can't have Dean Ambrose lose straight cleanly in a match right before Fastlane when he was about to wrestle for the No. 1 contender. So that was automatic to me. That Kevin Owens won, actually wasn't that shocking to me neither because the way they buried the shit out of him, I think they finally went back and realized, what the fuck are we doing? He's like one of our most like promotable stars.
He really, yeah.
One of the bigger indie stars in the WWE right now, next to AJ Styles and Sami Zayn and Finn Balor.
He beat John Cena his first night, didn't he? On the main roster?
Yes, he did. His first match.
He did. He was still NXT champ. You had your NXT champion beat your fucking franchise for the last 15 years or 10 years. And guess what?
He gets the Intercontinental title, goes on a losing streak.
Yeah. No, he goes on a losing streak after he loses to Finn Balor. That's it. After he lost to Finn Balor, that was it for Kevin Owens, honestly. He lost to Ryback. He lost to Dolph Ziggler. I mean, who the fuck else did he lose to?
He did win the IC title, though.
He lost to Ziggler like I don't know how many times. Like the only win Ziggler ever had was Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens wasn't even winning them matches. Tyler Breeze beat Ziggler.
He lost to Kalisto.
He lost to Kalisto.
Kalisto, I just remembered that. Yep.
SmackDown.
Yeah. The rest of Raw wasn't that good.
No, it was
They
horrible.
closed with the Big Show. I'm not even really going to get into the rest of it.
What about how they didn't let anybody know that Brock wasn't going to be on Raw, that he was only going to appear on SmackDown? There was like zero build-up for that. And actually, you know what? Let's take a step back. Hollywood Mike brought up a point yesterday that almost made me laugh my ass to death. He was trying to convince us that a Dean Ambrose Triple H main event at WrestleMania will sell 100,000 tickets.
I think it will sell. I think it would be a good match from a storytelling and booking standpoint.
Now, I don't know exactly what crack he was smoking or what he was drinking or, I don't know if he was just goddamn self-delusional.
It's not delusion. Dean
Well,
Ambrose.
let me tell you, 100,000 people isn't paying for Triple H versus Dean Ambrose.
I think it might work.
I honestly think that Dean Ambrose is not that great.
Tell me.
I like Dean Ambrose. I think he's got good mic skills and he's got good wrestling ability. But when it comes to a superstar, he's not selling out 100,000 people against Triple H. Brock Lesnar has to be in that match. If you don't get Brock Lesnar, you need to find a suitable superstar. Maybe The Rock versus Triple H. Maybe The Undertaker versus Triple H would even work at this point. But Dean Ambrose probably is not your answer.
Look, I'm a guy. I like facts. Come on, Hollywood Mike. Bring me some facts to where you actually believe that Dean Ambrose can break the all-time record in attendance by being in the main event. What gives you this idea?
He's got a fan base.
So I'll tell you one thing right now. Stone Cold and The Rock didn't break the all-time record.
I know it didn't.
Hulk Hogan and The Rock didn't break the all-time record. Hulk Hogan versus Roddy Piper or Andre the Giant didn't break the all-time. Well, it probably misstepped the record.
So, no, actually it didn't. It was Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan.
Ultimate Warrior. So you're telling me they couldn't even get 100,000 people? How the fuck is Dean Ambrose, who he just pretty much got introduced this year, going to break 100,000 people?
Hey, odder things have happened.
Like?
Yeah, I mean, what are we basing this on?
What's so odd about?
That's just unreal. Like if we wanted to bring this into the MMA arena, if your name's not Conor McGregor or Ronda Rousey, you're really not selling shit. So you're telling me Dean Ambrose, who is okay, I like him, he's talented.
I like him. Do not get me wrong. He's good.
He's semi above mid card, but mainly to me, he's a mid card guy. He has marginal mic skills. He has decent wrestling, but if your locker room was talented, you wouldn't have to worry about this shit. He would be a mid carder, and now as best as he'd be. To sell out 100,000 people, I just think you fail to realize how many people 100,000 people really is.
It's a lot of people.
Because, like Jeff stated, we're talking The Rock versus Brock Lesnar. We're talking Hogan versus Macho Man. Hogan versus Roddy Piper.
Well, The Rock didn't wrestle Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
It was at SummerSlam. But I'm saying, I'm just talking about numbers-wise.
Yeah, I know.
I'm talking about numbers-wise. Like, to realize how many people 100,000 people are, that's reserved for almost one thing only, and that's football.
Yeah, that's true. In America, football is your best seller. of any given sport.
I would love to see Dean Ambrose in the main event, but it's not going to happen anyway.
But I'm saying, how do you think that would sell 100,000? Like, where would you find a build up to sell the 100,000 tickets if Dean Ambrose is your main event?
I asked you yesterday. I said, Mike. I said, out of this match, who would you like to see in the main event against Triple H? You said to me, Dean Ambrose from Austin, and you got all into it. So why don't you get into it now? Explain to these people what you said to me.
I said that from a storytelling standpoint and a booking standpoint, it would make sense.
Tell me how that would make sense over Brock Lesnar if you're trying to sell 100,000 people. I understand the fanboy in you. You're probably attracted to Dean Ambrose.
Well, no,
Good
no,
old Dino.
no,
Is that what he
no,
calls
no.
himself
Dino.
nowadays? Dino. Whatever.
Dino.
Oh, yeah, he's Italian, by the way, now.
They call him the Titty Master, by the way.
I just think that, the story would make sense.
So you think the story would sell 100,000 tickets?
I think Dean Ambrose versus Roman Reigns would be a better storytelling standpoint.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that one.
I mean, Dean Ambrose has been in the thing with the Authority for so long now. I mean, why not?
But his main thing with the Authority was Seth Rollins.
Yeah, but Seth Rollins is...
So
Mike,
that's
come
why.
Injured,
on, man.
unfortunately.
You were way more vocal yesterday, man. Let the fans know, man. Come on, let's go.
Why don't you
Give it
just
to me.
let it all out?
Let
Let
it out,
everybody
man.
know how good
Come
you
on.
think this guy is, because I do not think he's that fucking
I
great.
think he's great. I think he's got a great character. He's got great mic skills, great ring
I
skills.
think he's a ripoff of Brian Pillman.
You can
Oh,
compare
you
him to
kidding
Brian
me?
Pillman, but he's not a ripoff.
Brian Pillman had way more mic skills. You guys are underestimating Brian Pillman. Oh my God. I'm
So many people compare Dean Ambrose to Brian Pillman, but I don't think he's Brian Pillman.
flabbergasted. This is bullshit. Brian Pillman, first off, athletically was ridiculous. Like, I don't think you guys understand how ridiculously athletic this
He
guy
was
was.
flying.
Man,
Brian
he was
Pillman.
a glorified.
You do
Stone Cold
understand he
bitch,
played in the
right?
NFL, right?
Yeah, I know.
You do understand how strong this guy was. He can, flying Brian Pillman. You're telling me Dean Ambrose, who's played what?
I don't know.
Nothing
I don't think
professionally?
he's played anything professionally, no.
And he did what collegiately?
Probably nothing.
Yeah. My point exactly.
Wrestled in CZW.
Well, speaking of Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns and the ripoff of Brian Pillman, why don't we jump into SmackDown? Because basically Raw closed with the Big Show versus Braun Strowman,
Well-
which I'm not going to get into the Big Show thing yet, but Raw pretty much sucked for me.
You had the Dudley stint with the
Yeah,
they came
but
out.
when I realized it was just to set up a match for SmackDown, I was kind of upset because I actually thought they were going to do something new, and I don't know,
I mean, you had a lot
take
of.
Roman Reigns out of the main event. And
Please don't
no.
have Roman Reigns.
Well,
in the
remember
main
that
event.
they're not putting him through the table anymore. So, but I mean, here's the thing: it's set up for SmackDown. They're trying to make SmackDown better. But here's the problem: you set up a week in advance to say, "All right, guys, watch SmackDown because Brock Lesnar is going to be on it." What if nobody watches Raw because the fucking. And by the way, this is the last Raw before something you're trying to make a major pay-per-view, and you fucking did nothing. Nothing interests me at all. You close with the Big Show versus Braun Strowman.
What would that say? What would you rate Raw out of 5 stars?
Dude, I'm giving Raw a fucking 1 star.
one,
Because it sucked.
I'm
you're
giving it
being
a half.
fucking generous.
I'm giving it a
Let me
half.
tell you, this was the go home Raw to Fastlane. This was your last build up. This is, let's be honest, Raw has way more ratings than SmackDown.
Yeah.
So this is the last chance you had to sell for Fastlane, and you gave us Big Show versus Braun Strowman.
I got to play my Reverend part here. Give me a minute. You guys get that?
Wave that fucking thing at my face, man. Let's get back to the real point here. SmackDown also sucked. I mean, we got a decent match between Chris Jericho and The Miz.
Underutilized talent.
I agree. I think, you know what? Why don't they just make him an announcer or something? Or put him on the fucking, give him a mic anytime
Why?
he
He
can, dude.
still could perform. He still could build feuds. He still can sell.
I
Does
agree.
He have to, look, The Miz never has to win another match from here until the time he retires. But you know what he could do? He can sell every fucking match he's in.
Yeah, that's true.
Which, unfortunately, the roster don't have enough of.
I mean, honestly, they don't have anybody that can turn a crowd. Because I'm hearing crickets, and everybody wanted AJ Styles. Everybody wanted Kevin Owens. Everybody
Thank
wants
you. Preach
Dean
that shit.
Ambrose. Everybody wants Chain. They wanted Sasha Banks. They wanted Becky Lynch. They
wanted
wanted
Dolph
Charlotte. We got
Ziggler.
Ric Flair on fucking screen. And you're fucking cricketing. Why are you cricketing? Like, seriously. You got fucking crickets right now. How the fuck am I at home watching this shit supposed to get hyped when you got probably a good segment with Brie Bella and Charlotte? Charlotte's cutting fucking an amazing promo. You got a godly presence as in Ric Flair behind her, and you're fucking cricketing.
Actually,
seriously.
You want to talk about promos? That was a hell of a fucking promo. That was a fucking get in your face. Let's bring up some dirt shit. I'm going to make you legitly hate my guts. And we got nothing out of it.
I know Everett's sitting at home not doing nothing but reading his Bible and probably tossing holy water on his penis.
Well, I heard he's on the phone with a Catholic girl.
Oh, maybe that's true, but why don't you listen here, Everett Hall McNeil, a.k.a. Black Jesus.
The Reverend.
I know how much you hate Brie Bella and the Bella twins, but I just watched a shoot interview, by the way. Both of these two girls just went at each other with bullet points.
Brie was phenomenal.
Brie was not that great, but Charlotte was fucking hands down amazing. And Brie Bella came back at it. So why don't you go ahead and check out Raw and then get back to me next
Charlotte
week.
was a.k.a. Ric Flair-esque, buddy. She fucking dug deep into fucking Brie's ass.
She did.
She did, and I fucking
And
loved
guess
it.
what? Brie actually, I mean, yeah, she didn't have as much ammo to come back on.
But she fed off it.
But yes, it was a feed off of me promo, which has been lacking in WWE for a long time. Let's be honest.
The last
She
time we
touched
saw
her in emotions, dude. That's how you cut a promo.
And the
you want to
fans
get
were
somebody
cricket.
fired up? Make fun of her fucking retired husband because he can't do anything.
And the
by the way,
fans-
you're broke. Yeah, we're
The
gonna call you
fans
broke,
were
bitch.
cricket. The fans had nothing.
Well, remember when Paige tried to do stuff like that? They cut her off.
You know, you want Paige, everybody cheers for Paige, and then boos, clicks,
She's gone.
crickets, clot, clot. You know what I mean?
I'm talking about, you're talking about the promos. Remember she had that promo
when
going
she
with
brought up
Charlotte.
Reed?
She brought up Reed, yeah, and they just cut her off because
Don't
of
get
it.
me wrong. Paige does not belong on Superstar. She belongs in the main
She
picture.
does.
But my problem with Paige is, you know, they tell her not to do something, and I understand you don't want to fucking listen to anybody, but it goes back to that's your boss. You got to do what your boss says. If you was in Concrete and they told you not to get a tattoo, go fuck yourself. But you're working in an entertainment standpoint in a PG rating.
See, I understand that to a point, but wrestling has been a long history of characters, and she's a character. Like, she's a really good character who is what, third generation wrestler.
She is. She's a screamer.
Yes, she's a screamer.
Paige,
So
if you're listening, I don't have great credit.
she's
but
way
I'm,
too hot for you, Mike.
I don't have.
You definitely don't have great
see,
credit. You drive a
Paige-
fucking Mustang.
Paige, if you're listening, I don't have great credit, but I'm willing to file bankruptcy for you. So if you could just get at me in my inbox, I'd
He
love
really
it.
does drive a Mustang, which means he's compensating for something. Just saying.
Hey,
We're not going to tell you people what that is.
it's probably up
They
in the
do
cloud.
call him Button Dick, but I didn't tell you that.
And that is very legit. Like, he has really had a chick tell him this.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to press the button, please get at Michael Paul.
Now, don't get me wrong. If it was me and I had a button dick, guess what? I would sell like the fucking Miz and get myself some pussy.
All right, man. Let's get back to SmackDown because we're going way off a topic with his little dick. So basically, SmackDown sucked too, and I'd probably give that a 1.5 stars just because it had a better feel. They actually got crowd reaction, which Raw didn't get.
That was the best crowd we've seen in a while. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It actually got a little bit of reaction, and I did not like the fact that the Dudley Boys almost lost, but I do like the fact that Brock Lesnar did make an appearance. It gave a little bit more credibility to SmackDown, but SmackDown in all just kind of sucked to me, and you can't make something important again unless you actually do something out of the box.
I didn't like the fact that they had the same tag match with the League of Nations on SmackDown minus one guy.
Yeah, that's another
you
pointless.
switched
fucking-
out Neville for
Talk about underutilized.
I don't remember who the hell it was. That's how bad
dude.
Raw was.
Rusev is fucking amazing. You got poor ass sexy Lana not on TV because she got married
We
or got
want
engaged. My
Lana.
bad.
yeah.
Sorry
I
for
went
being
Lana.
happy, WWE.
I went the blonde bombshell.
Screw you, WWE. I'm going home.
But with that being said, I would give NXT a solid 4 stars, and I say that for one reason and one reason only.
Chad Gable.
It opened up with an 8-man tag team match.
Yeah, it was what was it? Chad Gable and
Chad
Jason
Gable
Jordan
and Jason Jordan.
with Enzo and Big Cass.
What are they calling themselves?
I don't remember. American Ultra.
American Ultra, and Enzo and Big Cass versus Dash and Dawson
Blake and Murphy with Alexa Bliss.
That Alexa Bliss is sexy, boy.
She still ain't got back to me yet.
But
Yes, she's sexy.
NXT was a solid 4 stars. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. And honestly, all the matches were good. Sami Zayn and Samoa Joe had a little bit of a weak ending that I didn't really like too much because I don't understand how he kicked him. And, it's whatever. I'm not going to get into it, but go watch it. The Big Show podcast with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
It was good. It was real good.
All of you fucking people are telling the Big Show to retire because of why? Because he's fucking a giant?
You know what you could do with being a fucking giant? Like, it's ridiculous to hear all you people talk about him having to retire, Mike.
Look,
Please
I
retire
respect
for
Big
what?
Show as an athlete, but I think they've done what they can do with
Really?
him.
Are you serious? He's a fucking giant.
He is a giant.
I hate to tell you, you can do so much more with a giant.
If you want the Big Show to retire, why don't you go say that to the Big Show's face? Because you honestly, and in his podcast, he tells you exactly what he does for this business.
He does. He told you that he helps all the young wrestlers. He does all that shit.
He definitely, basically, he said it best. I am the guy that they need to turn heel for a babyface to get over. And when the baby faces are hurt and they need somebody to go out and wave at the kids and the kids love me and blah, 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 I'm now the babyface. And it's fucking ridiculous. How are you going to book a giant like that and expect him to get a giant reaction? It's just not going to happen.
Well, actually, in his podcast, he also brought to me a big point. Most wrestlers are scared to fucking help other wrestlers because it's such a cutthroat business.
Very cutthroat.
The Big Show has been the exception. He has actually been willing to work with mad talent to get them over. That's why he's lost like 600 matches in the last 4 years.
Yeah, he said it best. He said, I won maybe 8 matches in the past 2 years.
That's what I'm saying. So you want a guy like, okay, Vince McMahon wants a guy like Braun Strowman over. Okay. That's where the Big Show steps in. So to tell me the Giant has no room on Raw, are you kidding me? If at any time, if Big Show actually wanted to pull the Andre the Giant, he could fucking do it. You know why? He is 7 foot, over 400 fucking pounds. You can't fake that. You can't teach that. You can't fake that. And if he got pissed off, you all are fucking screwed.
Speaking of getting pissed off, you see Floyd Mayweather run after he broke his nose, correct?
I did see that.
That is probably the greatest boxer in that weight class ever. So to sit there and say, I made a pro boxer who has maybe lost, he lost no fights in 20 years. I made him run like a bitch.
And bitch.
And he said that was a shoot. That was not a work, guys. That was a shoot.
And the thing is, he isn't the greatest boxer in that weight class. Floyd Mayweather is the greatest boxer since Muhammad Ali.
I still hate him. I still hate watching him.
Yeah, okay.
But whatever.
He's still the greatest boxer since Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
And yes, there was a whole shoot. Big Show took a punch from fucking Floyd Mayweather with brass knuckles.
Three punch. I don't know if it was brass knuckles.
No, he had
Was it
brass knuckles on, yes.
Not at No Way Out. When he busted his nose at No Way Out during the face-to-face.
How about the one when he had brass knuckles on and
Oh,
Floyd Mayweather?
WrestleMania.
That's the
Yes.
WrestleMania match. Yeah.
Bro, what are you guys getting slow on me, man? Let's go, man.
Well, I thought you was talking about when he broke his nose.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
I'm
during
talking about when he hit him with brass knuckles.
Oh, yeah, for the win.
And let me tell you, you think that punch was fake? I hate to tell you. When Floyd Mayweather throws a punch, shit hurts, dude. Get punched by a pro boxer one time.
It's a little bit different. There's a lot of precision and accuracy into it. So
Because what? Precision what?
precision defeats power. Timing defeats speed, baby. Conor McGregor. But, I mean, look, I'm a Big Show fan. I get it. You know what I mean? People are tired of seeing him job. I'm tired of seeing him job. I want to see him go out there and just fuck people up. Can't we have that?
No.
Yeah, because it's people like you that sit there and hate on talent. You guys, especially you and Everett, you hate on the fucking Big Show. You hate on the Bellas. Why?
I don't hate on the Bellas.
Oh, you guys hate on the Bellas.
When did I hate on the Bellas?
I remember like it was yesterday. You and Everett
All I
sitting
know
there,
is
sitting
you
there
and
talking
Everett
about the
fucking
Bellas
hate
needing to
Brie
stop being
Bella,
champions and shit.
Is ridiculous.
I never
to
said
me.
that I don't respect them. I was the one who defended Brie whenever I was saying she couldn't wrestle.
Well, you said that Brie is hot and Nikki's okay when
Nikki
they're
is
fucking
okay.
twins.
Dude, Nikki is fucking hot too, buddy.
But whenever it was saying
They're
Brie,
twins.
but whenever it was
And
saying,
Nikki's got bigger boobs.
but whenever it was saying Brie didn't improve, I was right there with y'all when saying that she did.
Oh, that's just because he was blind and being a retard.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what happens when you see sexy and God's telling you to be good. But but honestly, getting back to the Big Show thing, they said something in that podcast that really stood out to me. It was an incident where the Big Show pulled Stone Cold's tights and they like went up his ass and looked like a thong. And apparently Stone Cold got really pissed off and punched him in his face a couple of times.
Language. There's
Man, fuck your language. I'm making a point here.
Everett's listening.
Stone Cold said that he got so pissed off the Big Show threw him in the corner, and he said that's when he awakened his beast. And he said, and Stone Cold said from that moment forward, he respected him. And you know what he did? He Stone Cold stunnered him and told him to kick out. You know how many Stone Cold stunners he kicked out of? He kicked out of 6 of them bitches. And that's how you book a fucking giant. It took 7 Stone Cold stunners to beat
That's
that
how
motherfucker,
you fucking
dude.
do it.
So you say you don't book a giant like the Great Khali?
Don't,
when a guy
man,
can
why would
actually-
you even bring up that piece of shit?
Not when a guy actually can move, he can wrestle, you know, he's
I know,
talented,
I know.
athletic. I mean, everything that Great Khali is. Great Khali can't even walk.
You know what? He should have kept doing movies. He should have stayed in his prison movies.
What movies?
Well, what was the
The
Longest Yard.
Oh my
the
god.
longest yard?
He killed a guy in wrestling school.
I hope he won an Oscar for that.
Please don't get me started with that fucking wrestling school. All right, so let's get into this real quick. WrestleMania. It's around the corner. Who do you guys want in the main event?
Well, we know who fucking
Yeah,
Mike
We
you
know
know
who
where I'm
fucking
going.
Mike wants.
Yeah.
I can tell you who right now who I want. I've said this many, many times, and to me, this is the only match to make. If you actually legitly, like, not in some fairy tale world or I wish the world was this way, if you really legitimately wanted to sell 100,000 tickets to WrestleMania, to me, the only way you can do this is Brock Lesnar versus The Rock 2. Because that's the only way to me you're selling 100,000 tickets.
I actually agree. I would love to see it. I think it would be a great marquee. But I actually kind of disagree. I kind of disagree because I believe you can use Brock Lesnar for something else. Because, if, like you said, you're trying to sell out 100,000 people, so you really need to keep these people interested from start to open. I think The Rock and Triple H is the better best for me.
Well,
Championship match.
okay. So, what's the common denominator in this then?
Brock Lesnar's co-main event.
And The Rock is what?
The champion.
Main event, right?
Main event.
So, me and you agree that if you want to sell 100,000 fucking tickets, you need The Rock main eventing.
Don't get me wrong. I
Unlike
mean, put
Dean
Dean Ambrose
Ambrose
on the card.
Right, he'd be a great mid-card guy for you.
But if The Rock wins the
Why is he
title,
not
he's just going to
wrestling-
leave again.
Why is Dean Ambrose not wrestling for the Intercontinental belt at WrestleMania?
Look, I understand everybody.
Oh,
You came and left.
part-timers.
Yeah,
When,
whatever.
It's not the fact
when?
that The Rock's a part-timer. It's the fact that he's going to win the belt, and the belt's going to be off TV for
So what?
months on end.
It's called he's a billion-dollar commodity.
What are they doing with the belt now?
Nothing.
Have you seen Triple H this week?
No.
Have you seen him last week?
Triple H just has a title because if Roman Reigns won the Rumble, there'd be a riot.
Answer me this. When Seth Rollins was champion, was he main eventing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was main eventing.
In
Not all the
theory, he was
time,
main
but-
eventing. But was he really main eventing?
Not all the time.
He wasn't, was he? So to me, in the past year, the WWE title has been worth absolutely nothing. The last time the belt held any prestige was when Brock Lesnar held it.
And
Last year's Royal WrestleMania is the last time the belt meant anything.
And listen, I understand 100% that, he's not going to have the belt around. But I'm going to have to do this crossover because it is very similar. UFC champions don't fight every month. They fight maybe twice a year. I mean, you got to sit there and think about it. If you want to bring prestige back to your Intercontinental Champion, put that shit on somebody who's going to carry your fucking card and can main event. And guess what? The Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship means something, and The Rock does not have to be there. That's the point of giving people something of too much, and then they get bored with it. The
I
Rock
agree.
could be champion and still bring prestige. And guess what he'll do when he does make an appearance? He'll sell the fuck out, and he'll get ratings.
Let me tell you, you don't have to have the belt on the line every fucking month because, like he said,
It gets boring.
Like I know all you pro wrestler people hate MMA, and I know MMA people hate pro wrestlers the same, but they're one and the same to me. If everybody knew their history, they would know it's one and the same. You can't give championship not just championship matches. We're talking about the world heavyweight title. Like, I know it means nothing to like maybe you guys or the generation now, but at one time, like the World Wrestling Championship was actually as much as the World Heavyweight Boxing Championship. That's how prestigious this shit was.
It was very prestigious.
So to tell me you're gonna put guys like Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns and I don't know The Miz, you know I love The Miz, in the same breath as Luthez, Ed Strangler Lewis, Farmer Burns, and Frank Gotch, you're fucking kidding me. It's insane to me.
Well, we're talking about the WrestleMania main event. I can't talk. Main event match is here today.
I don't know what the fuck you're sniffing.
There's a lot of rumors going around about Undertaker's opponent. Who do you guys think it's going to be?
Personally, I want it to be a shocker. Scott Steiner.
I'm feeling Kurt Angle.
Well, I think Kurt Angle's done at the next. Well, it can't be Kurt Angle. The WrestleMania match and the Euro Fighting Championship match is almost the same exact weekend. So there's no
Sounds
possible
like a busy
way.
weekend.
And he said it's going to be Rey Mysterio's last match. I mean, it's pro wrestling and shocking shit happens. You could do it, but I really don't think it'd be Kurt Angle.
Well, the three big names that have been thrown around are Sting, Kurt Angle, and Goldberg.
Well, here, let me help you guys out. It's not Sting.
I know it's not Sting. He's done.
He's dead. So don't worry about it. He's not wrestling ever
What if the neck injury was a work?
I don't think it's going to work.
I mean, hey, the WWE is known for fucking year-long prolonging shit.
I don't think.
What if it's a work? I'm just hypothetically.
I know you're playing devil's advocate and you're saying
I'm definitely
maybe it
playing
was a
devil's
work.
advocate because I know Everett wants it.
I hate to tell you that it's not a work.
We're thinking of you, Reverend.
Yes, we are.
Oh.
So I would personally wouldn't mind seeing Scott Steiner. You're saying Kurt Angle. So Goldberg? Would you want to see that?
I really don't. There's no secret. I've never been a Goldberg fan.
I wouldn't want to see Goldberg now.
I've seen Goldberg ruin my favorite wrestler of all time. I've seen him destroy wrestling with his non-ability. But you know what? His non-ability is still better than Roman Reigns and Ryback.
I agree.
Well, they've gone on the record and said that the opponent's going to be somebody who's not contracted to WWE
if
right
it's
now.
not, if the Undertaker's going to wrestle a match, and it's a match I've always wanted to see.
Who was that?
We've already seen Kurt Angle and the Undertaker before,
But not at WrestleMania caliber.
not at WrestleMania.
I mean, honestly don't know who's going to wrestle him. We might even get an Undertaker
So,
Brock too.
Let me tell you, if you want to sell 100,000 tickets, you know who I put in that main event. You know who I put in there with Undertaker. That I'm sure none of you guys are gonna like.
The Rock.
Go ahead, shoot.
Hulk Hogan.
Ugh.
And with that being said,
I can say this: it would sell. It is a big venue. It probably would. It would build.
but would it be a good match?
Probably
selling-
not.
are we
but
selling-
has Hulk
wait a
Hogan
minute.
ever had good
I
matches?
was about to say, are we selling matches? Because let's be honest, Hulk Hogan has never had a match that was worth a shit.
It's the hype.
Brother.
But think about this: Hogan versus Undertaker. Undertaker retires. Hulk Hogan's done.
Well, Hulk Hogan's been done.
But I'm saying it'll be Undertaker's last match. Hulk Hogan is the only reason the Undertaker is what he is. Whether you agree with me or disagree with me, you have to admit the Undertaker's legend starts solely on Hulk Hogan.
You know, now that I'm actually sitting here thinking about it, it may be Stone Cold. It is in Texas, dude. It could be Stone Cold.
Yeah, he's not on
They
the
did
active
put
roster.
out rumors, and if you do not want a spoiler, do not listen to this. But they said, go ahead, Mike, tell them what they said.
I don't know what they said. What is
the
it?
thing you told me earlier about how you said it's somebody that's not.
Oh, yeah. It's somebody that's not on the active roster between the ages of like 27 and 60. He's not under contract to WWE at this time, which Austin's not. Rock's
Neither
not.
is Hogan.
Yeah, neither. I mean, any of these guys.
But
All right, so with that being said, I guess we'll have to wait and find out. Let's go ahead and jump into this Fastlane predictions.
the pay-per-view before WrestleMania, so it needs to be good.
We got our kickoff here with Kalisto versus Alberto Del Rio, a U.S. Championship match. 2 out of 3 falls.
On the pre-show,
Pre-show. So that means the title is worth what now?
nothing.
Like, John Cena almost had it at main event status, and now we're talking about it's on the pre-show. So where did WWE drop the ball at? Oh, everywhere, but go ahead.
I think Kalisto's taking it.
Of course, it's Rey Mysterio Jr., so I can't disagree.
Isn't Del Rio still injured?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know the story. I just know that
Doesn't the WWE want him to be Rey Mysterio?
They do.
So
They're
guess what? It
force
doesn't
feeding them.
matter.
They're picking Kalisto, it looks
Why
like.
are we even talking about it? Let's get to the next match.
Well, the next match of the card, it's Ryback Kane and Show versus the Wyatts
Well,
with Bray
doesn't
Wyatt in
matter.
the corner.
This one doesn't matter neither. Let's go to the next one.
So we basically got Team Retire for all you people out there versus the Wyatt family.
Well, you got Team Retire with Ryback.
Team retire. Wait, did he stutter? Are you kidding me? Because if any guy should retire at this age, it's
Yeah, I
fucking
didn't make
Ryback.
that up. I mean, let's get to
Look,
it.
if
Wyatt
Ryback
Wyatt
never
family.
wrestled again, we'd all be okay with it.
I would.
Wyatt family, by the way.
Charlotte with Ric Flair versus Brie Bella for the Divas Championship. Charlotte.
I want to say Brie, but I know it's going to be Charlotte.
I know for a fact it's going to be Charlotte.
I disagree. I think it's going to be Brie.
You think Brie's taking it?
I think Brie takes it, and I think it sets up a freaking nice triple threat match of Sasha Banks, Brie Bella. Actually, I think it's going to be a fatal four-way. Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, Charlotte, and Brie for the World Championship.
Well, speaking of Becky Lynch, it's the next one of the card is Becky Lynch and Sasha versus Team Bad Naomi and Tamina.
Obviously, the obvious thing here to do is to have one of the two chicks turn heel, and that's going to set up for a match.
Well, I think Sasha Banks is already. I think Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks is already enough a heel that you don't have to actually have a heel turn. So
That's true.
I think it's just going to be Naomi and Tamina win with the help of one of the two. Sets up, like I said, fatal four-way for WrestleMania.
I honestly think Team Bad might win too. Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler for the IC Championship.
I want to say Kevin Owens because this is going to set up going into WrestleMania.
I'm pretty sure Kevin Owens is taking the win, but it would not shock me if Dolph Ziggler wins.
I mean, the way they've booked these two, it's ridiculous. So I'll just go Dolph because it at least sets up a rematch for WrestleMania, and they won't do anything fun with it anyway.
Well, this is the match that we want to see. It's AJ Styles and Jericho 3.
I think it's, and I'm glad it's the. It looks like here it's the co-main event, and I'm glad that's the co-main event.
Well, I mean, this one's automatic though.
I mean, I don't know who's gonna win.
AJ.
There's no doubt about it. This is the automatic one. To me, this is if I was betting, which I used to bet on wrestling, by the way.
We know.
So I may have had issues back in the day, but if I was betting, for sure, this is my one for sure. AJ Styles wins because Jericho is a glorified jobber, even though he's a legend.
I'm going against the Pine, and I'm saying Chris Jericho.
Why would you do that?
Fuck it. Why not?
Everett, do you hear this? Do you hear this, man?
All right, here Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and Brock Lesnar.
The Wyatt family's going to interfere with Brock Lesnar. Ambrose is going to take the fall.
That's the most predictable outcome. If that's the way it goes, WrestleMania is not selling 100,000 tickets.
I'm
That's all I gotta
sorry that I have to agree to disagree.
WWE, change your product.
I don't think Roman Reigns is main eventing.
You don't.
I don't know how that's going to play out, but somehow, some way, Roman Reigns is not main eventing. If he does, then it's probably most likely it's going to be a triple threat match. Be prepared for that, people. Be prepared.
It would have to be a triple threat because Brock Lesnar has to be in the main event or The Rock has to be in the main event.
Well, we got one more thing to look forward to in this card. It's the Cutting Edge Peep Show with the New Day as a segment.
Which the tag team champions don't even get a freaking match.
I'm telling you, I think it's going to be the debut of Enzo and Big Cass.
I also think it's going to be the debut of Enzo and Big Cass.
Woohoo,
We know you hate it, but you're going to have to love it.
What am I supposed to love about it? Are they beating New Day for a belt?
Probably not, but at least they have somebody to feud with now.
New
They
Day
do. It's
rocks.
called Dudley
New Day
Boys.
rocks. But with all this being said, we're going to have to give it out now. We're running on time here. If you guys would be so kindly as to look us up on Facebook at facebook.com/Ringside Power Hour. Give us a like. We got our links up there for our videos. If you want to click on them, give us a listen. It'll bring us you to our YouTube channel, which is also the Ringside Power Hour. You might not be able to find us because we don't have a URL name yet. We're getting close to it. Just go and type in that search bar, type in Ringside Power Hour. You know you want to hear at least my voice.
Website coming soon, guys.
Hey, leave comments. Let us know what we can do better, what we've done great, what you'd like to hear.
Please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And like I said earlier, we're coming to you from Sabretooth Audio down here in Glen Burnie, Maryland.
Signing off, baby. Boo!
See ya.
See ya.